The Talk Shop.
This is The Talk Shop with me, Masechaba Mushweshwe, on SAFM 104 to 107. Our talkback session tonight, we're looking at respect. Respect is earned and not demanded. And yet we're also told that one needs to respect one's elders. How does one differentiate between respect and fear as well? Because that is those are values that seem to be confused all the time. The thinking that if one respects somebody, then one would fear them. One would show signs of not challenging them, not disagreeing with them. And what has become the moral fiber of our young democracy? This is one of the questions that we're asking. Does believing in values and norms that are different to those of a leader or an elder suggest that one does not respect him or her? And what is diversity's role as far as respect is concerned? Joining us in the studio, the CEO of the Moral Regeneration Movement, Umamzandile Mdladla. We are taking your calls 0891 104 207, 0891 104 207, or SMS us on 34701. SMS number is 34701, and SMSs are charged at R2. Looking forward to getting your take on respect, and how do we instill respect in our young people? How does one earn? Maybe that's the problem. The language that we use when talking about respect immediately talks about fear, talks about, being in fear of someone. How does one earn respect from young people, and how does one ensure that there is respect, that there is a sense of respect in our youth today? 0891 104 207. Mam Zandile, thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. Welcome onto the Talk Shop.
Thank you very much, Mas Chaba, and thank you very much to the listeners.
Mam Zandile, how do we balance where we are as a country, as a society today, against where we come from? We were taught that you respect your elders. It's not about whether you earn it or whatever. The fact that someone is more elderly than you, is older than you, it means that you must automatically respect them. But then there are also old sayings in the English language, like respect is earned and not demanded. How do we get this balance right between these different conflicting or seemingly conflicting views?
I think in my view, it's that you earn respect because you are respecting. When I'm a child, I must respect my elders. But at the same time, my elders must respect me. So it's that balance that we've got to ensure that it exists.
How does an elder respect a child? Has a child lived long enough to earn that respect? What acts, what parts of their behavior have warranted this respect?
You give a child good discipline. And then that's how the child learns on how to respect himself and herself. So that's a balance that we need, where the child knows that there's a no, there's a yes. But at the same time, I must not be unreasonable on the child and say, learn what I've not taught you. So the onus is on us as parents to ensure that we bring about discipline, because it's all about discipline. And discipline doesn't mean that you become arrogant or you use all sorts of measures.
Threatening measures.
But the child knows when to go and how to do things. So that instruction is needed from the parent.
When you talk about discipline, immediately one starts thinking about fear. And when we talk respect, fear is something that is confused with respect. Can we differentiate the difference between respect? What is respect, and what is and how does fear feed into it, if at all, if it plays any part whatsoever?
The whole issue of respect doesn't necessarily mean that you must be fearful. You must be able to take your child along with you. And the child must know the principles of the home. And even if we're not talking about your own child, but even the extended families, because that's why we lose it, and communities, where it's known that this is what happens in this community. So that's how you gain your respect. But at the same time, you as an adult must be able to behave such that your children know what is respectable in the home. If you start swearing in your home, then you've got a problem. So those are small things that are important in running our households, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's Mrs. Mdladla's home. But the siblings that come into my house know what discipline is all about. And until we as parents and as a society decide that these are things without being abusive, because at times people become abusive. Mm-hmm. They would, let me cite an example. You send your child to buy you beer. What are you insinuating? Instead of you going yourself, whether you drink beer or not. But that's the type of respect that you want to encompass. When it comes to schooling, you are able to say to your children, this is what it is, and you draw the line. What we are failing nowadays is to draw the line. My child must know where everything ends. Clear discipline, which is not punitive. So those are things that we've got to be talking about as parents. Let's give our children guidance and not blame our children for misbehaving when we're not doing our roles.
So can respect be taught? Can we teach our children respect?
Exactly. From childhood. Take your shoes. Clean your shoes. Go to school.
So
come back from school.
In teaching discipline, in making the lines very clear with regards to boundaries, we are then in that way also teaching respect.
Exactly.
Am I understanding it correctly?
Exactly.
Okay.
You must have boundaries. Your children must know what annoys you and what doesn't annoy you. Otherwise, we are not leading our children towards the right direction.
I want to talk about when community values conflict with the kind of values that you are trying to instill in your household, in your family, because that does come up a lot, where we're seeing a culture of worshipping gangsters and gangsterism being part of the day and gangsters being respected, and that being something that you discourage in your own household. So communities will say mob justice is the way to go. Such and such gangsters that are living the high life, that are flaunting their wealth, those are the people that we look up to. Those are the people that we respect. And you are saying those values will not be tolerated in my household. How does one then get that balance right between what is right, what values we uphold, who we respect in this family, and what the community at large or who the community at large respects? 0891 104 207 is the number to dial to be part of our discussion. Our talkback session tonight focusing on respect. When people respect one another, there are fewer conflicts. That is the reality. Or you can SMS us on 34701. SMS number is 34701 and SMSs are charged at R2. We're seeing conflict galore in our society today, in our government, in our corporate sectors, even in the workplace. And we're saying when people respect one another, there are fewer conflicts. So how do we ensure that we instill a sense of respect in our young people? And we also ask, does believing in values and norms that are different to those of a leader or an elder suggest that one does not respect that leader or that elder? 0891 104 207. Sabelo in Pretoria, good evening to you, sir, and welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Sabelo.
Hi. Thank you, Mr. Chow. Thanks for hearing what I'm about to say. I've been listening to the discussion, and what seems to come across for me as a bit of a confusion is
go ahead.
The sense of if you say, for example, a person has got respect in the sense that I respect the law because the law has got certain amount of authority over me. That insinuates power, where the law has got power over me. Another sense is where we speak of respect in terms of, let's say, I respect another person's opinion, and there it's a matter of principle. I think I'm not sure if I'm the only listener who might struggle in differentiating the two, especially in the current context of the debate, for example, between the youth and the elders, where we find a situation where the youth might respect the elders' opinion but differ from it, and rightfully so. And conflict in that sense is in fact good. It is not bad to be in conflict with somebody while respecting them. So I just wanted the panel there, or the guest you have, to just elaborate on respect in terms of a matter of principle, where a person respects another person and their dignity and so on, all of that, but also the sense where I respect somebody because I'm respecting their authority, and I'm respecting authority because that authority has power over me. I see a difference between these two, where we are talking respect in one sense and respect in another.
Nice one. Thank you so much, Sabelo in Pretoria. Faisal in Mayfair, good evening to you and welcome.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Chaba.
Hey, Sabel. Hi,
good
Faisal.
Good evening to your guest. Chaba, you mentioned the term that respect is earned.
And not demanded.
That really means that, that the opposing party has got to earn my respect based on certain values that I particularly define. Now, while I don't necessarily disagree upon that particular term, I would rather go a bit further. I would say, to me, respect is the dignity that I give to other people, and based on certain values. And to me, the values are reasonably clear. It's based on values of our Constitution. In other words, I give the dignity to all other people that they are equal to me. I give the dignity to all other people that I will give them a certain amount of care and love. I give them the dignity to other people that I won't discriminate against them based, for example, on their sexual orientation. I give them the dignity to other people that I won't discriminate against them based on their religious beliefs or their gender, for example. Now, I think that's more important and a more better value of putting respect, because it doesn't put the responsibility on the other person, it puts the responsibility on yourself as well.
Thank you so much, Faisal in Mayfair. Good evening to you, Inkle in Foy's.
It's actually Nico, by the way.
Oh, Nico, sincere apologies. Hi.
I'm all right. Not a problem. I just wasn't necessarily happy with the definition of respect. And I think the simpler way to really explain it is by explaining the principal concept behind respect, which is, it's mutual benefit. You know what I mean? And if you explain the element of mutual benefit, it surpasses any situation that you might find yourself in. I mean, for example, we live in a society where we cede certain rights for the benefit of mutual existence. So whether I relate to a kid or somebody at work, it's all about what mutually benefits the both of us, the both of us, or any interaction that I have in the world. That defines the element of respect. You can't define it based on situation or anything else, but understanding the principle behind it, it's just naturally really about, a mutual benefit in any interaction. And what you show, no matter what language you speak, what culture you have, if we engage on the basis of mutual benefit, it's the element of respect. And that's really what I wanted to share. And I think if you define it in that sense, it's easier for any parent, any kid, for anyone to understand that. Even when I speak to a kid, I speak in terms of mutual benefits, what benefits him and what benefits myself.
But Nicole, when you talk about mutual benefit, then we take it in all kinds of areas where we look at people who are looking at what they can get out of a relationship, out of a situation. And what do you mean by mutual benefit? What would entail this benefit, this mutual benefit?
I mean, think about it. If we take the workplace, for example, I'm at work, right, to work and earn an income. And for me to do that, I have to interact with people and share resources with people, right? Mm-hmm. The mere understanding of that situation is that we're here at one place to do something that benefits the both of us. And I made an example of the democracy as itself, as a principle itself. It's about people coexisting in a community where they have to share resources. So, and it's something we will all benefit from. You know what I mean? We have to see certain things. I have to give certain things to get certain things. You know what I mean? And every interaction, think about it, anywhere around your in life, with whoever you interact with, up high or left or right, there's dependencies on other elements or other people. You know what I mean? And interaction should be formed by mutual benefit. If I'm going to do something that's not going to benefit me, I have no interest in it.
Okay. I hear you. I think my concern is, us going the route of respect being equated with monetary value, which is where we are currently at the moment, where we say so-and-so has lots of money, so-and-so is wealthy, therefore so-and-so deserves my respect. Not necessarily because of the values that so-and-so upholds, not necessarily because of the lifestyle, their behavior, but because they have money. And I'm worried that this mutual benefit immediately goes the route of the money.
No, you see, that's an interpretation one has made, but mutual benefit is in everything. It can't be subjected to money, or it can't be subjected to authority or to anything else. I mean, in every interaction there's mutual benefit. Whether you define it in terms of monetary terms or you define it in terms of spiritual terms, however you define it, it's the basis of it is that when two people come together and there's something to gain, it naturally comes out as respect.
Okay, Nickel in Fourways, thank you so much. Talking about mutual benefit. Keith in the Transkei, you agree?
Good evening.
Good evening, Keith.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be so with this subject of yours. You're talking about respect and the youth. It's not that easy nowadays because we trust nothing, the kind, and we're finding adults doing miracles as well these days, where it's not that easy,
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciate what our elderly lady is doing for us now over the radio by bringing this up and reminding us about what's actually happening in today's world,
So,
the
Keith,
monetary values.
Keith, are you saying?
Technology.
Let me hear you properly, sir. Are you saying that as a young person you are not seeing adults exhibiting behavior that warrants respect, and therefore young people are not very clear with regards to what exactly is respect?
Can you please repeat, my dear? Can you please repeat?
I'm asking you, are you saying that you are not seeing adults exhibiting any behavior that warrants respect, and as a young person, you are therefore confused with regards to what warrants or what is respect?
At times very confused, but adults, yes.
Okay.
Yes, at times very confused.
By adults, okay.
Because when I say adults, especially the adolescent kind of people, where you find the youth being laundered, alcohol, drugs. The alcohol market itself has probably doubled with the youth that is so confused, So we are finding very rare old people who are valuing what you're actually speaking about right now. And I really say, I clap hands to that old lady, and she must please carry on doing that for us as well.
Keith in the Transkei, thank you very much for the call, sir. Eddie in Ficksburg, Mam Zandile is giggling at being referred to as that old lady. But it goes hand in hand with some kind of respect, don't you think, Mam Zandile?
It does. Yes.
Eddie in Ficksburg, good evening to you and welcome.
But to you and the nation for the week, I'd like to say it is very important. I want to state it unrevocably that we have been placed to lead young people, and young people cannot be led if we have problem parents. Problem parents is problem children. We do not have problem children, we've got problem parents. Can I say this? 1963, 5th of April, Soviet Union, Russia, and America signed a treaty to speak a hotline, and they stopped 3 world wars. Now all of a sudden, the grown-ups have lost it. They want to go to war. You know what war is about? Old men talking and young people fighting. And young people don't want to fight, they want peace. And we shall not have peace in this world while we have old men talking war, war, war. We have to lead the young people. We have to be not the problem parents, but the solution parents. And I believe the pillars of a nation are strong family, and it starts at home, where we teach and instill that child discipline. I used to milk cows 2 o'clock in the morning. I used to work hard, and I promise you, then I thought I was suppressed. Today I'm not. There's an old saying that says, spoil the rod and save the child. My dear sister, let us reprimand our kids. The kids have to have a sense of fear, which is called love, and the children have to be able to say, Daddy, you earn my respect. My dad used to work like a dog, and today I work like a dog because my dad showed me the way. You, as a government and a people, you have to lead these people, these kids. If we do not have it, we shall have an uprising just the same as North Africa.
Thank you so much. That's Eddie in Vicksburg. The value of work. And Eddie always says that the value of work, to see someone working hard, then also instills that discipline that you were talking about, Mam Zandile, and that respect that goes with it. We'll talk about that. Let's take Sello in Mokopane. Good evening to you, Sello.
Hi, it is good to be on your show. I think parents play a major role to teach us how to respect from the young age, as you have said. And nowadays, some respect, it has been given to those who have money, those who have big cars and wear expensive clothes and so on. And you will find out, you'll see it's a young man who is getting respect more than an old man. Old men who don't have anything, normally they don't get the respect that they deserve because they have nothing and then they cannot do anything to anyone. But these young guys, entrepreneurs, they are the ones who really nowadays get respect, which is really totally ill and shame. I wish we can go back, but it is too late to see. We will never go back. Things are just going forward, and the respect is going down and down and down.
Thank you so much. So, Loan Mokopane talking about respect being equated with money, and those with money being respected, and the elderly, regardless of their wisdom, of their knowledge gained through the years, being disregarded simply because they do not have the money that we're seeing the up-and-coming entrepreneurs actually accumulating. John in KZN, good evening to you. Welcome.
Hi, evening, Mr. Chaba.
Hi, John.
And good evening, South Africa. This is a very important topic which we are discussing today, and I would like to just contribute here in saying that
Please do so.
If we do not fully understand and appreciate what is respect, we will not be able to respect each other. I'm saying that because, in essence, every human being made in the image of God deserves to be respected. That's before we talk about the social standing, the materials we have, and all sorts of things. Just as a human being, we need to be respecting each other. And respect has got its own protocols. Elders, without them being anything in the society, they deserve, it's their right to be respected. Respecting a person means accepting that he's an adult, that he has gained wisdom just based on age, not because he's an academic or he's holding any social position or any position of social standing in the community. Then we start looking at respect at a level where amongst our peers, as young people, we behave in particular manners which are exemplary, which guide a good citizen towards doing what is good, only seeing at another person who is at a level of being young as well.
John, let me just come in and get clarity, please, sir. You say that for the fact that someone is elderly, they then have wisdom and deserve respect. But it is not every adult person who acts in a way that says that they have wisdom. It is not every adult person who acts in a way that says that they deserve respect. How do we say respect is earned and then turn around and say, just because someone is older than you, just give them respect? Okay. And just because they're living and breathing, give them respect.
This is the cultural diversity that we have in this country, which ultimately creates some confusion. Respect is not always earned. There's an Anglo approach which says you must earn respect. if you are coming from an African origin, respect is what you accord every adult.
Okay.
Again, there are people whose behaviors are unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
But for the fact that the person behaves in a particular manner that is unacceptable, it does not mean then you must disrespect that person in return.
John and KZN, thank you very, very much for the call, sir. Theto in Johannesburg, you're my last call on this issue. Welcome.
Good evening, Masitshaba and the listeners. Look, I think the first point I'm going to touch on is the basis on which adults mainly keep on saying, oh, the youth must respect, as though the youth just drop down to us. You know, young people are raised by families. They're raised by the very same adults that keep on burning on the issue that people need to be respected. And you can't really expect that a young person is just going to be a model citizen with respect when you don't even contribute to that as a parent. You know, you find in communities, especially African communities, groups of mothers who keep saying, oh, bana abatlhompe. Whose children are you talking about? Because these are your children. And the same dynamic then presents itself in the workplace, where you find that people don't have, because they don't understand the concept of respect, they can't respect their own work, which ultimately then responds to the question of productivity in the country, where you find people not taking their jobs seriously, not loving what they do, and not giving it the respect that it deserves. And on the last, the caller that you had just before me, I'm very disturbed to hear that someone in this day and age says that it's standard that you have to respect people just on the basis that they're adults. Masha, what happens in the instance that a child, you know, is raped by an adult? Are you going to tell me that child must just respect the fact that it's an adult and respect that adult's decision to rape them? You know, we need to question these issues and the implications of whatever it is that we put out there into the public. You can't say that respect, you know, the respect is and token is an Anglo concept. You can't say that, because the mere basis that we go back to the fact that it relates to the fact that how someone treats you should be, you know, a determinant of how you're going to treat them. You can't just sit back and say, oh no, they're older than me, so Masitshaba is going to go ahead and do whatever they need to do. I'm disturbed by that, and I really hope that, you know, your input in that subject helps them think about it differently.
I wanted to go into that with Mzandile, and that was the basis of the first question that we asked in terms of how do we get this balance right? Because we're brought up being told you respect your elders regardless of whatever it is that they're doing, and yet we're then told that respect is earned. And I want to go back to that particular issue. Thank you so much, Theto in Johannesburg. I'm looking at some of the SMSs coming in from you, before we go to the SMSs, I want to just talk around this issue of respect and elders and respect being earned, or the African view being, or African values saying that respect is accorded to all adults regardless of whatever their behavior is. Mzandile, with regards to the issue of respecting one's elders. And John brings up a very important point. Just because someone does not respect you doesn't mean that you then disrespect them. But if someone violates your rights, if someone who is an adult who you look up to goes out of their way to not only disrespect you, but also to get into your space, to take away your dignity, to take away your human value, how then does one deal with that particular conflict? Do I still accord them the respect?
I think what is very important is that you as an individual, you must respect yourself. Once you respect yourself, that's how you are going to translate that respect to other people. So whether you are an adult or a young person, as long as you respect yourself, it becomes very important. Because even in your world of work, if you respect yourself, other people are going to respect you. Even in your community, when you respect yourself, other people look up to you. So it starts with you as a respecting person, whether you are being frustrated by your parent or your child, but the fact that you are respecting yourself, it goes a long way. Because it's not only people who say, this is Mzandile. Mzandile earns the respect by respecting herself. And that's why even in relationships, I know this morning I was talking about children that get pregnated in the Eastern Cape. I was talking about it 2 hours ago. It's a matter of us instilling that respect in themselves, in their bodies, in their self-actualization. Then you end up earning respect. So it becomes important when we talk about, it has got nothing to do with, we've got to respect the worth of all individuals, irrespective of social origin, race, gender, age, status, and class. And this is what we're advocating for. We've got to ensure that we fight against any physical and emotional harassment, which the contributors have indicated that at times there are harassments. Mm-hmm. We cannot be the same as individuals, but there will be those elements, and let's fight against that. And ensure that we look at people as human beings, as social entities who are going to develop the community that we want. That's what positivity is all about. So all those things, and I agree, and it's not about your age, it's or not about your status, it's about you respecting yourself. And I'm one of the advocates of saying, if you respect yourself, people respect you.
And this, Mam Zandile is talking about what the respect, the worth of all individuals, irrespective of social origin, race, gender, age, status, and class. This is contained in the Charter of Positive Values that comes from the Moral Regeneration Movement. There is a Charter of Positive Values, and respect, human dignity, and equality are one of the pillars of these values, positive values that the Moral Regeneration Movement is trying to get us to start engaging each other on. I'm looking at SMSs coming in from you. Josh in Pretoria says, do we as a country have a set of shared values? This is exactly what the Moral Regeneration Movement is trying to do, to get us to have a set of shared values that are then easy to observe and respect. And Josh goes on to say, respect can be taught and enforced by parents and elders. Mashifane P says the politicians are failing our parliament. Our parliament is dominated by ill discipline and disrespect. The issue of discipline and respect going hand in hand, coming up there. Mashifane P saying ill discipline and disrespect is what we are seeing. Another SMS says, respect is a two-way system. I am not feeling respected by my elders. I then push them hard if they are hard and complacent. Drina says, if young people respect themselves, they will respect the elders no matter what. Norman says, when kids are told to make babies by their youth leaders, hence the disrespect that we're seeing and the disrespect of the directives of their parents. Another SMS says, children have more rights than parents to learn and value any respectful teachings. The issue of rights, children's rights, comes up over and over again when we're talking about respect, when we're talking about discipline, and I want to just quickly touch on that with you, Mam Zandile. Another SMS says, South Africans are very good at slating those who disagree with us, and we brand them as enemies and traitors. Which group of us is right all the time? And SMSs continue. Here's one that says, we young people are seeing lovers. Can we scroll up to see the rest of the SMSs? Thank you so much. It says, have mercy, Lord. Adults are seeking youngsters for lovers and kids are seeking elders for lovers. It is scary stuff. Asking who then is setting the example of respect? Who is teaching, our young people about respect? And another SMS says, my father used to chase us out of the house at night, pointing a gun at us. Then how can I respect such a person? Some of the SMSs coming in. Another SMS that spoke about that said, my mother thanked me for standing up to my good, over-strict, correct, angry, violent father. I was proud, but it hurt him and me too that I had to stop him. So young people feeling the need to stand up to elders and say this is wrong, and obviously this having a very negative impact on them. Mamzandile, the issue of that was brought up around respect, which is young people standing up to parents who are not setting a good example of what respect is. Young people, parents whose behavior is not warranting respect. How do I get that conflict right?
That's an unfortunate situation, because if you are a parent, you decide to have a child, you must take responsibility. It's like the children that are saying they've got rights.
Children's rights, yes.
Children's rights. They've got rights and responsibilities. You are responsible for cleaning my kitchen because I pay for it. You know? And those are things that we must advocate for.
So if you observe your responsibilities that go hand in hand with your rights, you will earn respect.
You will earn respect.
Okay.
And even those parents, those are anomalies that do such behavioral patterns. And you must not take them as the ideal parents. And that's where you've got to balance and ensure that at the end of the day, we've got to be responsible as parents. We've got to be responsible as children. And it's not your mother who is going to say, thank you for standing up to my husband. Your mother must stand up to the husband who is abusing you. So it's that responsibility. Your mother has ensured that she doesn't take her responsibility in her own house.
Mam Zandile, how do we get hold of the Charter of Positive Values as South African citizens?
We've got it on our website. We distribute it. It's in all the 11 languages. We are going to have the 12th language on the charter. And you ask me what the 12th language is.
Sign language? Sign language.
Yes.
Sign
language.
We
already have a sign language.
Oh, there already is?
Yes, we distributed that 2 years ago to the deaf and
Deaf SA.
Deaf SA.
Okay.
So we already have the sign language.
Okay.
Now we are going to look at the Khoisan. Is it Khoi? Yes. We're working on that project.
Okay. Wonderful.
So we want to distribute it to as many people as they possibly can. But I would like you to propagate these values.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mam Zandile Mdladla, CEO of the Moral Regeneration Movement. We will be giving you the website for the MRM in a short while, where you can get hold of the Charter of Positive Values. And of course, this looks at all the values that are advocated by the Moral Regeneration Movement. Their website is mrm.org.za, mrm.org.za. And, we're looking at various positive values. Tonight, we were focusing on respect. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. As always, a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much, Mas Chaba. Very much, Mas Chaba. Very much, Mas Chaba. Very much, Mas Chaba. Very much.